All right, y'all, it is time. I cannot believe he did it. Even CNN is calling Chris Murphy out on this one. Live TV, CNN goes, excuse me? Yeah, y'all, TDS is taking over all the main brain circuits. I swear to God, we're going to have a hell of a live stream. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. We are driving towards freedom, and this one is right in our bailiwick. So we're going to have a heck of a time dispelling some tyranny talking points left, right, and center everywhere we find them. And if you guys are enjoying it, of course, take part in the show by commenting, chats, emojis. All the engagement that you do helps supersede the whole notification issue that's happening because, whoa, are we under it right now. So, as you guys get in here, of course, make sure you hit that like button, leave some 5x5 audio video over here in the chat to make sure we are good to go on this freedom quest, and we will do just that. All right. As you guys can see, of course, you can follow me on X at Braden LOA. It says right here, notification. I have no idea if you guys got notifications, but I'll be honest, I would not be surprised if you were not. For the last week, it is like mum's the word. So many people are leaving comments on my channel, be like, I haven't gotten a notification for you in a week. Have you done videos? And I'm like, only like 21 since then. Anyway, we got a lot of work to do, guys. So just make sure you're sending this stuff out because we are going to overcome this tyranny step by step, video by video. All right, listen. You guys are getting in here, and as always, I get to open up with, hold on a second. I got to put in here our chats, comments, and emojis. Chats, emojis, make the world go around. All right, once I hit this post, you guys know the rules. We pin it to the ceiling up here. Let's get it. It is pinned, and we are off to the races. Backwater 526 with a $5 super chat. Thank you very much, sir. Let's get it. You get a heart. All right. You guys are in here early, and as such, you get the reward of one of the most comical things you're going to see today. You guys know I like to open these shows up with a little bit of appetizer comedy kind of level, like a little bit of levity before we get into the crazy. Yeah, here's one for you. You're not dreaming. This just happened. Kamala Harris is now winning the 2028 National Democratic primary, according to the People's Pundit. Kamala Harris just passed Gavin Newsom by 11 points. Y'all, if this happens, you know what? I don't even want to scare it away. Yep, you're not dreaming. That is literally what is going out right now. I told you it'd be comical, and we got a whole lot of a little bit of something. And I got a few more fun little things for you later on, but we're going to get right into this. Finally, getting notifications. I'm loving every second of it. What's so funny? Your face. Oh, ouch. That hurt me. But it's okay. I got a face for radio, and I know it. All right, let's keep on going. Listen, y'all, the notifications are struggling. All right, here we go. This is CNN's chief law enforcement and intelligence analyst, talking, of course, about the shooting that happened at Brown University 2 days ago. Now, I'm about to show you a clip of something that is so profound, so incredibly amazing from the CNN law enforcement analyst. Did you guys know that lasers were extremely high-tech and very hard to get, and very rarely are they used ever, freaking ever? Yeah, you're about to. All right, guys, this is going to be one we're going to let's just go. All right, CNN, take it away.
At 4 o'clock in the morning, hit this hotel room in Coventry and took this man into custody. What we're told from law enforcement sources now is that they seized 2 firearms from this 24-year-old suspect. One of those firearms, we are told, was equipped with a laser sight device. This has significance because, number one, that's a fairly sophisticated device for a handgun where...
Okay, come here. Time out. Flag on the play. A fairly sophisticated device for a handgun? Crimson Trace partnered with Smith & Wesson for bodyguards with built-in lasers into the grips, and it still costs like $340. There's nothing super duper special about a laser attachment, whether it's on a pick rail on the front, or it's built into the grip, or it's on a revolver, or it's on a semi. There's nothing special about a laser of any kind, way, shape, or form. That should be disqualifying by itself, but it's not. We're going to continue because we've got so much gun control stupid to cover, and we're going to get into all of it across the board. I cannot wait to hear some of the responses to what we're about to show you. All right, Let's keep going. CNN, sorry.
When you aim it, a red dot goes where you want to target, and if you fire at that point, the bullet goes where the dot is.
Magically.
It's the kind of things used mostly by professionals, tactical people, military people. The other aspect of it, though, is it indicates that this was no random shooting. What we know is this individual traveled from the Midwest, apparently, obtained this hotel room, likely had to obtain a rented car to go from there, the 20-minute drive to the target location. Authorities have told us that he is not a student at Brown University, but that doesn't specifically mean he never was a student or an employee or had some association there. Clearly, this is a shooting not driven by randomness. Apparently, he traveled to Rhode Island to do this terrible.
Okay. Listening to that guy's like paint dry. Okay. So here's the thing. When you don't really have anything to say and you're just going to make something up, all my 2A people over in the crowd over here in the comments, please light this up. Because lasers, that's the big takeaway used by military and professionals, indicating what? This is some sort of uber high level hit? No. The dude used a handgun, and it apparently had a laser on it. Sometimes it can just be that's what it is, right? But anyway, the other part here, and this is the part which we're going to do more videos on because a lot of stuff is not adding up on this. And of course, I'm talking about the Brown University shooting. I'm not talking about the Australian shooting. I'm talking about the Brown University one. The dude randomly goes from Wisconsin to Rhode Island with a handgun and a revolver, commits this crime on a Saturday at a school, and they're telling us that this guy it was completely random. He just happened to travel across the country and figure out exactly what day to go when no one was at school normally on a Saturday, and then go into the room where the only people on the campus saw. I don't know. We're going to dive into a lot more of this, but the whole completely random chance doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, particularly if you're a laser-toting professional. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to throw a little bit of a disclaimer out here for you guys. For the people who have joined us in the recent months, about 100,000 of you guys, 100,000 plus or minus, we have a lot of expertise in the gun control fight, in the gun rhetoric fight, in the gun rights fight. That's a very big part of who we are on this channel, what we fight for, what we stand for. And when they fall right into this in our bailiwick, our sweet spot, we're going to fully go at it. Okay? And here's one of the things that they like to do on the left. This is a very progressive account that I'm showing you right here. Now, this is what's so interesting about this, and I want to talk to the people who are not gun people first, because again, that's a big contingent right now in our analytics. It's the effing guns repeated over and over and over and over again. Here's the thing: the guy who did this in Rhode Island went into a gun control state, into a gun control zone, into a gun control class with a handgun and a revolver. Both of those things, even if they're with the deadly laser, both of those things are completely and totally on the lower end of the gun control spectrum. So when you say it's the effing guns, so we're just going to get rid of all handguns then. Is that the angle here? Because it wasn't the super magical nuclear tipped AR-15. It wasn't an overpowered M1 Abrams tank. It was a handgun. Sometimes evil can just be evil. But these guys, it's the effing guns, of course, because it's the effing guns. You can't have your rights because this guy used a handgun, right? That's the whole point. But then in Australia, but they have gun control. There's so few. It's okay. Literally, you can't keep it straight. But let's keep on going. I got a lot more for you. Again, we're going to get to the part where Chris Murphy shows his butt. But give me a second, because that guy is not my favorite. All right. Let's get into this. This guy is on the left. And this is interesting interesting commentary, and then I'm going to get into the Chris Murphy thing because that's next. If this was in the U.S., they'd have had an AR-15, talking about the Australian shooting. So guaranteed, he knows they would have had an AR-15. High-capacity magazines and body armor. This guy shot 20-plus rounds while police stood there and did nothing. And body armor, by the way. And the local police would have sat there fearfully waiting for backup by being outgunned. Gun control laws don't mean nothing ever happens. They do mean it happens less and that outcomes are dampened. Come here. How many more what if then maybes can you put in one sentence to support your point of gun control? Because if it had been in America, they definitely would have done this thing with this gun, and they definitely would have had extended magazines, and they definitely would have had body armor, and the cops definitely would have been scared. Oh, by the way, at the same time, over-militarization of the police is evil too. They literally have a slide ruler for whatever they want to talk about. If they want to go after the police for being over-militarized and aggressive against the population, they got that one. If they want to go after the guns are bad, then they say police are outgunned. It's literally a sliding rule of just BS. Anyway, let's keep on going, because that's what they always do. I want to get to Chris Murphy, and I've got a few things that I made, and I want your feedback on them. So as you guys get in here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on, because like I said, the notifications have been cut probably, honest to God, in about half. I would honestly expect to be about half cut in half. All right, here we go. Chris Murphy. Oh, Chris Murphy. He's going to say a lot of things, and we're going to refute a lot of things here. And this is all about gun control and blaming Brown University shooting directly on President Trump, because President Trump is, quote, engaged in a dizzying campaign to increase violence in this country. Yep. All right. Let's go. I'm going to stop this a bunch of times, and I'm sorry in advance, but this guy just gets my goat. Let's get it. Take it away, Chrissy.
We haven't had the wherewithal to do anything in Washington we did a little bit a few years ago, but of means for years and years and years. But having said that, Rhode Island has some pretty strict gun laws. They have universal background checks, red flag laws, waiting periods to purchase a gun. So this is about, and we've talked about this, much more than gun violence. It is gun violence, but the laws could be stronger, but they're stronger than other places in Rhode Island.
Okay, so here's a red letter day. If Dana Bash on CNN is openly telling you, yeah, be careful because you're about to walk into a bear trap of having all the gun control you want in Rhode Island and everything you espouse in Rhode Island, but all of a sudden it's not going to be very effective and work. So, I mean, yeah, they could be more, but the only way they could be more is by taking guns away from people. Lawful citizens losing their Second Amendment rights, right? That's the only way you can really get further than the far left, like Rhode Island and the gun control states that those are. That's part of the little block up there that has extreme gun control. So the only way you can go further is to take guns away, but you still have better gun control than in all the other places in the United States, and still it happens. It's weird. Don't worry, there's an excuse for it. It's coming. But again, I want to highlight for you a few things going into this clip, because this is important. If you were not paying attention to the 2A stuff, if you were not paying attention to the gun control pushes back in 2022, which I don't fault anybody for, but if you weren't, he's about to reference something as legislation, right? It's called the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, is what he's about to reference, okay? We are experts on this channel. The people who have watched this can also probably say a whole lot of things that I'm not going to highlight in the high level, but you're talking about effectively nothing really happening on a gun control like legislation take it away from people point, but it's a lot more on funding and empowering the ATF, making mandatory waiting periods for 18, 19, and 20-year-olds, things that are all ancillary. They are not banning guns, but they are doing things that are effectively inhibiting rights through tweaks in the laws, not outright banning things. Okay, that's what he's about to talk about. And again, that was a high level. I'm not saying it was any part of it was good. It was all bad. But that's effectively what he's talking about. Okay, we're going to get into that in 1 second. All right, let's get it.
The laws do make a difference. I mean, if you look at states like Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, California that have stronger laws, we have gun violence rates, murder rates, mass shooting rates that are 2 to 3 to 4 times lower than states that have loose gun laws. And many of the weapons that are used in our states for gun crimes come to our states from those states that have an ability for criminals and people with serious mental illness to buy weapons. So what we know is that stronger laws do work. And since we passed that bill in 2022, the first bill in 30 years that strengthens the nation's gun laws, gun violence rates and mass shooting rates have come down in this country. But this is...
Okay. Biggest manipulation trick he ever pulled right there. So the gun stats, of which we covered pretty extensively on this channel, the gun stats that he's referring to are the natural decline, because in 2019 you had a standard status quo. In 2020, 2021 you had a massive spike. What was happening during that time frame? COVID, Everyone was home. Everyone was pissed. Everyone was armed. And then they went like this after the pandemic stopped. Everyone went back to work and started getting back to normal lives, and it leveled out. They say, oh my goodness, look at all the amazing things the Bipartisan Safe Communities Act did. Meanwhile, Chris Murphy got on camera the day after the Bipartisan Safe Communities Act passed, and the Republicans betrayed a large swath of their constituents, and he said, yeah, it doesn't really do anything, but it's a good baby step. I mean, literally, guys, let me know in the comments if you remember this, because we covered it. But anyway, that's what he's talking about when he does his little thing, okay? Okay, let's keep on going.
Not shocking, because over the last year, President Trump has been engaged in a dizzying campaign to increase violence in this country. He is restoring gun rights to felons and people who have lost their ability to buy guns. He eliminated the White House Office of Gun Violence Protection, and he has stopped funding mental health grants and community anti-gun violence grants that Republicans and Democrats supported in that 2022 bill. So he has been engaged in a pretty deliberate campaign to try to make violence more likely in this country. And I think you're unfortunately going to see the results of that on the streets of America.
That's a pretty big statement. He's in a campaign to make violence more likely?
Of course. I mean, he's
Okay. He's in an active campaign. Tell me in the comments over here if you guys hear this right. He's in an active campaign, a dizzying campaign to actively increase violence in the United States. This is a sitting senator in the United States from Connecticut, the gun control champion and driver of Moms Demand Action, Everytown for Gun Safety, and anyone else that wants to take guns, like Michael Bloomberg. Okay? This guy literally just said the president is in an active desire to increase violence. Crime's going down nationwide, but he's in a deliberate attempt to increase violence. This guy's a psychopath. But anyway, let's get on to the other little things that he just hit on, because you guys need to know this stuff. The granting of the gun rights to dangerous people and felons, which Chris Murphy just used in a very incorrect way, is a program that the DOJ just put forward at the beginning of this year that hasn't even been approved yet. They are floating the idea about giving gun rights to non-violent felons who are on an as-needed basis, and they have to apply for a clearance of their record and expungement in order to get more guns, their gun rights back. It is not every single felon gets a gun back, but that's not what Chris Murphy just said. What he just said was he's on a dizzying campaign to increase violence in this country. It's a complete and total abject lie. The felon thing is literally on an as-needed basis, and it's non-violent felons as a prerequisite. But don't worry, Chris Murphy's here telling you all about how it's only violent felons. Then he got rid of the White House Office of Gun Violence Prevention. You want to know why he got rid of the Office of Gun Violence Prevention? The reason why is because the White House Office of Gun Violence Prevention was being used as a revolving door. The two directors were a guy named Wilcox and Jackson, and they were, I'm doing it from memory, and they were complete and total hacks for Everytown for Gun Safety and the gun control orgs that had a direct line in the White House to the vice president, who was then dictating all the different organizations in the states that were all about the gun violence centers and community centers. So they were orchestrating a statewide shadow campaign in order to take people's gun rights through adjusting executive levels of power. So yeah, he got rid of that bad boy. And by the way, he didn't say it, but he's actually getting an Office of Civil Rights with a 2A focus. So yeah, Chris Murphy's a little bit of a liar on this one. In fact, it's time to whip this out. I made this up. You guys tell me what you think. I'm going to put it right down there in the comments. This is what I want to give Chris Murphy right now. I wanted to give him a steaming hot glass of this stuff. God, he gets a steaming hot glass of bless your heart from my southern side of my family. Good Lord. By the way, let me know what you guys think of these things. I'm going to have them in here a few times. But legitimately, what? Okay, let's keep on going. Because if you guys are just not getting in here, now we are about to issue a full-on backhand. Because again, this is the sweet spot of this channel. This is one of my expertise levels. I've studied it for 4 years. This guy is about to get a masterclass in backhand. Stop talking out your butt about people's rights if you have no clue what you're talking about. And if you guys are down with this message, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and I will greatly appreciate any kind of commentary, some chats, emojis, and sending this out because the notifications sure as hell aren't doing it. Okay, let's get back into this. If you guys are about to About to have a moment with this guy. So this is a lefty. This is a liberal on the internet. Got a camera, got a mic. He must be a creator now. He's so solid on his facts. Only the one little part where he's a complete and total hack. Watch this. We're just going to let it rip, and then we're going to have some fun with it.
Another mass shooting in America, this time at Brown University. I am proudly anti-Second Amendment.
Are you?
I'm tired of the arguments.
Oh.
I'm tired of people telling me they keep us safe and they keep us protected. No, they don't.
Wait for
Why
it.
is the only thing I see people dying? Where are all the stories of the good guys with guns? Where are all the good guys that have the guns when all the bad guys with the guns show up? Because they're never anywhere to be found. There is no reasonable argument.
Okay, we're going to come back to this little cupcake because I'm about to have some fun. Remember that thing where he said there's never anyone good guy to have a good gun, fun, whatever be found? I don't even know what I just tried to say. This guy animates me. All right, well, here we go. Hey, look. Remember this guy? Well, don't worry about the camera. It'll set back up. It's having an aneurysm again. Love when that happens. Anyway, what you're looking at right here is Representative Boebert, there I am, introduces a resolution to honor American hero Elijah Dicken for stopping an active shooting. That's weird. This guy right here must have missed this story. That is odd. Don't worry, I'll teach him. Watch this. Here we go. Representative Boebert introduced a House resolution to honor 22-year-old Elijah Dicken, who defended his fellow citizens by stopping an active shooter at the Greenwood Park Mall in Greenwood, Illinois. Elijah Dicken is an American hero worthy of recognition and honor. Eli's act of bravery saved countless lives and inspired millions more, while many more politicians are working to disarm law-abiding citizens like Eli. I'm committing to ensuring that we uphold the constitutional right to defend oneself. On behalf of a grateful nation, I'm honored to lead this bill recognizing Eli Dicken, a true American hero. And if you guys don't know his face, it's because he didn't make a political campaign. He didn't start a political action committee, Davy Hogg. He didn't stand on the graves of those who were shot in his presence while he saved them. He didn't make money on this. He didn't write a book. He didn't get anything. The guy literally faded into obscurity because he said it's what it should have happened. This guy was in a mall with a pistol, concealed carry. A psychopath with an AR came into the mall and started shooting in the food court. He posted up at 40 yards away with a pistol, and if you don't know what that means, that's an impressive as hell shot. Takes the dude out, saves countless lives. Media mums the word real quick because concealed carry killed the bad guy, and it was also an AR-15. And then the entire thing fades away because the guy actually has a shred of honor. I mean, but don't worry. I'm sure this guy right here, see, I'm getting animated because this crap irritates me. This guy knows about his talking points on the left and found himself a camera and found himself a microphone, but he sure as hell doesn't know the facts. There's Representative Lauren Boebert. How about we go another one? He'll get his in a second. CNN. What we know about the armed bystander who shot and killed the shooter at the Indiana Mall. 24 rounds from an AR-15. The guy shot him with a pistol. As far as investigators knew, Dicken had no police training and no military training, Eisen said. According to WTHR, Dicken's grandfather taught him how to shoot. Good job, Pappy. There were at least 434 active shooter attacks in the U.S. from 2000 to 221, according to alert data. Active shooter attacks were defined as those in which one or more shooters killed or attempted to kill multiple unrelated people in a populated place. Hey, guys, here's the part where I'm going to ask you a real serious question. What are those numbers? 434 active shooter attacks in the U.S. in 21 years. Does that jive with the left's talking points and the breathless screams of there's been 300, 400, 500 mass shootings a year? Because the math ain't mathin', just like the left likes to say. Oh, we got more. Don't worry. This guy cracked open a can of whoop ass, and I'm about to have some fun with it. Here we go. Hey, in 2022, the CDC removed references to a study on defensive gun use from its website after pressure from gun control advocacy groups. That was during Biden's campaign. This dillhole right over here decides that he's going to crack his mouth off of where all the defensive gun use is. Well, he doesn't really know that under the Biden administration and the CDC, they removed all the defensive gun uses, which was cited at a high estimate of up to 2.5 million defensive gun uses annually in the U.S. I'll tell you what, man, it is really weird when these guys talk out their butts. Hey, look, more evidence for you. Again, they shouldn't do this. This is my sweet spot. United States Senate, Washington, D.C., December 22nd, 2022, just in case you want to not believe the resources I just showed you. Here is something from the Senator, I'm going to show you, Chuck Grassley, as you can see right there. Listen to what he says here. This is really interesting. It's amazing how the internet never forgets. We write with growing concern and disappointment at the revelation the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention succumbed to pressure from gun control organizations to delete references to a commissioned study from the CDC's website that detailed defensive gun use estimates. As reported in an article recently published in The Reload, the CDC opted to delete a reference to a study regarding defensive gun uses after an extensive lobbying effort from gun control organizations, including Gun Violence Archive, Newtown Action Alliance, and GVpedia. Those are all gun control organizations. The study estimated the DGUs as frequently as 2.5 million times per year in the United States. These groups argued that the estimates have created a roadblock for enacting further restrictions on the Second Amendment. Well, my God, how could that be? It couldn't be because it's actual fact that's getting in the way of your emotions and your desires for control over the American population of who you want to convince, trick, and manipulate out of their natural rights. Oh my God, how dare the actual facts of defensive gun uses per year get in the way of your gun control desires? That's really weird. So now back to this dill hole, because after all, show me the evidence. Where does it say? Well, hope that satisfied you. Let's keep on going.
Never has been. And I understand that it's ingrained in our American psyche because the founding fathers saw it fit to use muskets during revolution. We are not in a time of muskets, but we are in a time of revolution, which makes them all that more dangerous. I'm tired of kids dying. These kids were finishing up their exams, future engineers, getting ready to head home for the holidays, and now
Oh, with that dramatic pause cut. one hell of an influencer. Too bad you don't know crap what you're talking about whatsoever. Please sit down and don't do another video because that is the most idiotic thing that I just disproved in 5 minutes. Guys, this is the whole point. If you are new to this, I get animated on this kind of stuff because literally, if you've never known what they're doing to you, what they're attempting to do to you, it would infuriate you the things that the gun control organizations specifically are doing and the actions that they take only in the wake of horrible actions, but they never, ever take a legitimate good faith argument around what's actually happening. It's all about their desires. And that's the entire point. Their desire is the end goal runaround of your Second Amendment rights or your First Amendment rights or the border or your money policy, whatever it is. And that's why I do what I do on my channel. And if you are one of the new people, you have to understand that what they are attempting to do is they're attempting to manipulate you, your children, your grandchildren, and all those around you out of their rights by playing on your fears of security. You have to know what they're doing. It's truly nefarious. But let's keep on going. And let me hear you in the comments in the chat over there. Yes, please do hit the like button because I am under the knife of the notification scheme here. All right. This one's a thing. This one's going to get you animated. I'm going to be honest with you. Because right now, this is a post from today. I mean, let's get December 13th. Yesterday. This is what the progressives and the leftists are saying about our nation, the one that we care about, the one that we, pretty much love to death, that we fight to preserve every single day for ourselves and the next generation. This is what the lefties are saying, okay? Keep in mind, listen to what he says, all right? Listen to this. These are the same people that want to take your gun rights, and you wonder why they have no problem taking your gun rights? Watch this.
A system that produces a Donald Trump presidency is a system that cannot be allowed to continue. This is just a fact. It is too toxic. The Trump regime rising to power is conclusive proof that preserving this political system will do nothing but harm. The Trump administration is a damning indictment of the U.S. political system. The U.S. government at this point is just basically a criminal organization, and Donald Trump is little more than a crime boss.
Okay, we're going to address that first part, and then this next part, key in on the language. All right, first of all, the very idea, and I want you to understand this completely. This is the progressive mindset. This is the far left progressive mindset. These are the progressives that are reposting this. Okay? It's not one guy on the internet. This is the main thought leaders on the left. So the idea that they would lose and that someone else would come to power through the election of the president and the House and the Senate and the popular vote and all the swing states, that all of those areas, all those reasons make it an invalid form of government. So now let's elaborate along that a little bit, along those lines a little bit more. So the representative government that we have in this nation is no longer acceptable because you guys voted for somebody that this guy doesn't like. So therefore, because he doesn't like this president, therefore the entire system is flawed. The entire system is bad. You can't have a representative government, which means this guy and the people posting this video and reposting it and spreading it would articulate a better idea as what? Someone gets to pick who the leader is? Is it through, like merit? Is it meritocracy? Is it through bloodline? What is it? Is it feudalism? Because if you look at what this guy is actually proposing, is a destruction of the representative government of the United States. So again, who are the threat to democracy and who are the psycho-tyrant leftists? I'm going to keep saying it too. All right, here we go. Listen to the language, y'all. If you're new to this fight or you're one of the newer subscribers, I key in on language because words matter. Listen to this and it'll sound very familiar. Please send this out, spread this out, hit that like button. Let's get it.
The U.S. political system is a toxic force,
Toxic?
both for its own citizens and for everyone else on the planet.
Toxic.
It is immoral, it is unsustainable, and it is irreparably corrupt. I would argue that getting rid of this system is a moral obligation given how harmful and corrupt that it is.
All right, I think it's officially time to whip out my second little piece of artwork that I created for you. This is what I think of that.
Survey says.
Yeah, that was my little artwork. I'm playing with it. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, so it's a moral obligation. Guys, come here. No, come here. The left, the progressives, the people on the far left of the Democratic Party, the ones who are dictating where the party goes, you're telling me, as their own words, the moral obligation is to destroy the representative government of these United States, the democratically elected Republican system, the republic that it is. You're telling me that the moral obligation, because you don't like Donald Trump and the fact that he beat you like you were stealing something, is to destroy the entire system because he's a threat to democracy, so you're going to institute an autocracy. How about a theocracy? We can put wokeness up there. We can get a little woke pope. It'll be great. It rhymes. But my God, y'all, these are real people. This is really what they think. It is genuinely wild. When I do these videos, I'm trying to highlight the big macro themes and I'm trying to tie everything together for you guys. And I like to say that I'm putting together a tapestry of freedom because it's all these little pieces. But it really is that important. You have to understand what these people are doing to us and to the next generation. I mean, and speaking of the next generation, here's a little paid for, a little low-T boy. Donald Trump is getting people killed at his incompetence, and Republicans continue to get people killed by refusing to address the gun epidemic. The entire GOP is soaked in blood. Man, that's subtle. God in heaven, I swear every freaking time. And this one this is an important one. I gotta show you guys this part. And thank you guys for your 1,800 people who are here. I am loving that you guys are in here and you overcame the notification issues. Thank you very much for doing that. We're going to jump right into something. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell, emojis, chats, comments, make the world go round. And thank you all for taking part. All right, here we go. This is Cenk Uygur. This is a far lefty on the TYT, the Young Turks. This is what they always do. They lie in wait until something bad happens and then they come out with their pre-scripted words. And I'll hit these super chats in a second. I see them coming through. By not doing the simplest gun laws, by the way, I believe the number is 50,000 gun laws on the books in the United States. I think that's the number. It's either 50,000 or 20,000. I have to check it, but I think it's 50,000. Ones that almost all of us actually agree on, like red flag laws. 80% want red flag laws. Okay, that's an abject lie. And universal background checks, 86% want it. We're playing Russian roulette with our lives and our kids' lives, taking needless chances when we already agree. All right. If you guys believe that 86% of everyone in the United States believes that we should have every single gun purchase from you to your son, from you to your grandfather, a private sale, any gun, anything, which would require a national registration to know when one gun goes from one person for that background check. And the only way it works is with a universal registration. If you believe that 86% of people in the United States believe that I've got a bridge to sell you over an amazing ocean in the middle of Arizona, because that is absolute BS. I'm not going to play the clip again. I don't want to wear it into the ground, but you get it. He can also have some of that hot, warm, bless his heart. But that's insane. It's objectively insane. And anybody with any bit of awareness of what's going on in the United States, except the 30% liberals, know that too. All right, here we go. Here's another mainline right account. Red flag laws are the most tyrannical 2A infringement possible. You are seizing guns before a crime has been committed, also known as gun confiscation. As we've seen under President Trump, Democrat judges will abuse their authority with impunity. Hell no to red flag laws. Yes. If you guys don't know what red flag laws are, and again, for my 2A crowd, I'm sorry, I'm going to reiterate it really quickly. For you guys that are new, I got to bring you on board. Red flag laws are when your ex-girlfriend, your ex-boyfriend, your ex-wife, your ex-husband can say, ooh, I really want to get back at that person. I'm going to call the police and say that he's a threat or she's a threat to themselves. And it can be a doctor or a lawyer or a teacher or someone you know on the street. And the police go directly to a judge without you knowing. And then the judge and the police and the accuser have a conversation without you being able to face your accuser, which, by the way, is that magic due process. They're so concerned with on the left about ICE and all the immigrants. They can't have due process, so that's the big issue. But red flag laws are fine. And then the judge signs a warrant deciding if you are capable or not capable based off the threats of or the word of someone else without you presenting any evidence or facing your accuser. Signs a warrant. You get your guns taken away by police knocking at your door. You have 12 months to get them back. You get one chance to actually appeal it. And if you don't appeal it, you have to wait 12 more months. But you get your gun rights back at some point in time. Meanwhile, the person who makes either a fictitious or false claim, no consequences whatsoever. You are guilty until you prove your innocence. It's the exact opposite of our system. But yeah, red flag laws are the greatest thing on the planet and everyone loves them. Again, if you guys believe this crap, I don't know what to tell you. I got a bridge to sell you. This time we'll go into a desert in Washington State. But I mean, like, there might be one. There might be a high desert there. Yeah, whatever, a low desert. You get it. The point is, all the things that you're seeing in all of these conversations, they're all based on lies and manipulations. They're not based on anything. From this guy right over here who's sitting there telling you that there's no such thing as defensive gun uses because I'm comfy in my couch and I clearly like the Cardinals, that it literally is completely proven false in 3 seconds. You got Chris Murphy out here saying genuinely that Donald Trump wants to kill people. He wants to increase gun violence on purpose. Even CNN and Dana Bash go, it might be a bit much, Chrissy. And he's like, I don't think so. It sounds good. That was not really Chris. That was more Bernie Sanders. But you guys get the idea. They're trying to do all of these things through a big, massive push. And it's all propaganda and it's all based in lies. And to be honest, is why I have a job. Because these people provide so much for me to just blast them on their lies. It's like never ending. That's why the notifications don't go out. I'm like, really? Anyway, this is where we're going to wrap this bad boy up. Oh, man, I'll try to end you guys with a smile. Kamala Harris, 31% on the 2028 National Democratic primary. I mean, look on the bright side. This will be the first primary she goes into, and she might win. Little stab, little underhanded stab there. Gavin must be pissed. He spent a lot of hair gel budget on this little runaround. And Pete Buttigieg, who was a transportation secretary once, he seems viable. Yeah. And then Josh Shapiro, 6.4%, probably the most qualified candidate on that list. Oh, well, you hate to see it. Gretchen Whitmer used to be really cool until she shook hands with Donald Trump, and now she's evil. So that's not good. Listen, I have to get... you guys are funny. I got to get these super chats, though. I owe you guys super chats. I completely almost forgot, but I didn't. All right. Here we go. Let's see here. Super chat from Night Whisper says, Murphy is the reason why my father has given up his gun sales permit. My father is in Connecticut. I'm sorry to hear that. That does check out, though. He's not cool. Andrew Veasley Jr. with a $10 super chat. The reason why you don't see more good guys with guns is because generally carrying a gun is still seen as a paranoia. It's more popular nowadays, but not as prominent as it should be. It is growing 100%, and a lot more people are carrying than you think they are. And it does dispel crime. I don't care what anyone says. Like, the stats prove it. And the fact that they destroyed it from the CDC at the behest of gun control organizations because it hurt their gun control narrative, it only proves our point further. Donnie Rose with a $10 super chat. Thank you very much, Donnie. We got another super chat right down here. Let's get to this one. We've got a $1 from Sam Watson. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate it. Night Whisper Grace with a $4 with a little cute sticker that says for you. And then right here, we've got Will Crump with a $5. That's why activist judges are currently blocking Trump from getting woke out of your public schools. Brainwash kids before they learn any different. That is a very, very accurate statement, Will Crump. But on this channel and many others, we are dispelling it as much as we possibly can. And it is only made possible through you guys' support, subscribing, viewing, and sharing. And the best part is it's all free and you get to kick the lefties right in the emotional goods. All right, that is the super chats. Listen, I love each and every one of you. Hold on. I can't do the intro yet. I just saw a comment that I have to address. I feel personally attacked. How come you're always fishing and we see no fish? Because I'm not a fishing channel. And a lot of people don't care about how many fish I catch. You guys get to see me out there when I'm fishing because it's a beautiful environment and it's a great backdrop for a lot of shorts. But a lot of people don't really care about how many fish I catch. I mean, I do love fishing though. It's my method of relaxation to recharge and go after the lefties even more. But listen, I love each and every one of you just the right amount. I hope every single one of you have an amazing evening. And keep spreading this stuff out, guys. We are going to win. The amount of propaganda that you are under right now is unprecedented. Do not let it get you down. Do not despair. Do not fall into the BS because it is literally meant to do just that. It is meant to dissuade you from belief in what you're doing every single day. And I've never seen it this bad, except when Kamala Harris was running for president. And that was a hell of a thing. It's amazing what $1 billion can do in 6 weeks. But the DNC is still in debt, and they're still paying it off, so there's that plus and a hangover. Listen, I'm going to see each and every one of you on the next video. I hope you guys catch it. I hope you get the notification. I'm Braden. See you later.